Okay, so we are going to study some mathematics from today. Well, I think for a month maybe. And today we are going to study implementing matrix and vector classes and their mathematical operations. Well, okay, so let's begin with Vector3D class. So we want something like this. Well, we still don't have a vector class, but we can design our implementation in this way. So maybe we can define a vector A, V0, and vector 3D V1, V2, V3, and vector V4, and maybe we need constructor for a convenient value initialization. 1, 2, 3, maybe. Okay, and well, we also need matrix class. Well, let's begin with 3x3 very small matrix M. So, and well, we may want something like this vector. We may want to perform some operations like this vector 3D y is M V0 maybe, and well, maybe we can initialize this matrix using some constructor. Okay, so we can start implementing Vector3D class here, or maybe it'll be better to make additional file, header file. So like this, Vector3D. Okay, so let's copy and paste it. Okay, so maybe we can Google definition of mathematical definition of three-dimensional vector. So 3D vectors in three-dimensional space. It's good. Okay, so there are many mathematical description about three-dimensional vector, and well, in high school mathematics we've been taught there are three components in three-dimensional vector. So maybe we can define an integer, well, for an easy implementation in integer x, y, and g coordinates like this. Okay, so we have it, and let's go back to source.ctp and include this vector. We need to use double quote for custom files, custom header files. So Vector3D, and uncomment this one. Okay, it works because we defined a Vector3D, so it's okay now. But there is a warning. So unreferenced local variable. This means that this Vector3D V0, the instance of Vector3D V0 was not initialized nor used at all. Okay, so we want to assign some values here. So maybe we can do this one. V0 x is 1, V0 is 2, V0 is 3. Right? Or maybe we can define a constructor for a convenient for a convenient value initialization. So let's make it Vector3D class integer input. Maybe if you want to more a better parameter name, then you can use x input, y input, constant integer g input, and well, you may assign this one to y is y input, right? But but there is a better one. So you can do this. You can do this, or you can initialize this, the value of these variables in this way. So actually, this kind of initialization is more convenient and efficient, because well, this x input is initialized, assigned to x underbar, this member variable, when this variable is generated. Okay, so let me repeat one more time. So if you initialize these member variables in this way, then well, first these variables are generated somewhere here, and then this value is assigned here. But if you do this, well, this value is assigned to this variable when this memory is assigned, allocated. So this one is more efficient, I think. Okay. So let's go back to source file and let's try this one, because we defined the constructor. So let me compile. Okay. It has no problem here, but it has a problem here, visual, because no appropriate default constructor available. Okay, this is because we defined a constructor here. In the case, compiler does not generate default constructor with no parameters automatically. So you should make it if you want to use it. Vector3D in this way. Okay. But be careful, you need to initialize member variables in default constructor. If you do not initialize member variables here, then your member variables will have garbage values. So, well, initialize variables always. It's a good habit. Okay. Okay. So now it's fine here, and maybe we want to define some operations between vectors. So let's clean these. Vector3D, visual 1, 2, 3, and well, maybe 3D. We want to assign a value to 4, 5, 6. So in this way, well, so actually we need to overload this operator as well, but the most fundamental type of assign operator is generated by compiler automatically. So it's easy, but if you want to try something like this. 3D V2, and V2 is V0 plus V1. Well, it has a problem because the operator, the plus operator between Vector3D classes, Vector3D is not defined at all. So we need to overload this operator. So let's go back to Google and find a sample, find an example code here. Okay, so plus operator overloading in C++. So it seems like there are more people who would like to know the details about operator overloading. So there is a Korean stuff, but let's ignore it. And well, there are so many examples and tutorials on the web. So just pick something you like. Okay, so well, you can look at some codes, and here is a plus operator. It's defined for a box class, but the box class is very simple. It has 3 double member variables: length, breadth, height. So I think we can copy this one and modify it for our Vector3D class. Okay, so let's go to Vector3D class and just copy and paste. And this operator overloading plus additive operator. This operator is defined for box class, but we are implementing Vector3D class. So Vector3D, 3D, and Vector3D, and well, we need vector maybe, and vector, 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 and we are implementing this for X, Y, and G, right? This input should, well, let's rename B to input. So input, 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 and our input has X, Y, G value, and this is a Vector3D class. This is Vector3D, so we can use X, Y, G, and return this vector. So now we have a plus operator between Vector3D. I simply copied an example from the web and modified the example, the code snippet, for our custom class. Okay. Okay, so it looks better for me. Okay, so let's go back to source.cpp, and it's working, right? It's working. So maybe we can check the component, check the result. We would like to see the result. So let's print it. Let's see out v2.x blank v2.y v2.g. Okay, and we are adding 1, 2, 3 to 4, 5, 6. So the answer should be 579. 579, right? Okay, so it's working correctly, but this additive operator works greatly, but well, I really hate this part, because if you want to, well, maybe you want to print v1. In the case, you should modify this. Well, you should modify this code to v1, v2, v1, v1, and you need to repeat many things for this kind of operator. Instead of this one, we want something like this, or like this. We want to this one. This one looks much better than this one. Okay. So the problem is that this streaming operator was not overloaded for Vector3D class. Okay. So let's overload this stream operator one more time. So overloading stream operator C++. Okay, upstream. There is a question. The same question in Stack Overflow. And well. Wow. The example is Matrix3x3. So I think this one going to work fine for us. Okay. So let's simply copy the example code. OStream, we need OStream. IOStream, and the problem is the namespace std, and we have Vector3D class. Okay, and this should be vector or something for good naming, and we have x and blank, y, g. Okay, so let's go back to the source.cpp. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, so it's working. So V0 is 1, 2, 3, and V1 is 4, 5, 6, and we add V0 and V0 and V1 and assign it to V2. So let's see if V2 is correct here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 9. So it's working correctly. Okay. Okay, so do you have any questions so far? No? Okay. Okay, so let's continue implementing vector 3x3 matrix. Okay. Okay, let me explain the operation between matrix and a vector. I was trying to open Painter. Okay, so we implemented the vector class. It has 3 components: x, y, g, and 3x3 matrix. 3x3 matrix has 9 components. Right? So there are many ways to implement this data structure, but one of the most simplest one is implementing this matrix as a set of vectors. So vector 1, row vector 2, row vector 3. Okay? So the multiplication between a matrix and a vector results a vector. So this one, this one, this one. Okay, so this value is determined by dot product between this vector and this vector, and this value is determined by the dot product between this one, and this value is determined by the dot product of this one and this one. Okay, and the dot product of two vectors is defined by multiplying components and add the multiplication. So first we multiply this value and this value, and this value and this value and this value and this value separately, and add 3 multiplication results. So it's very simple mathematics. Okay, so maybe we can define a dot product. We can overload dot product between two vectors, or maybe we can define a Vector3D. So we can define a function dot product or simply define a multiplication operator. Okay, so we can overload multiplication operator in this way, but this would be very convenient, but sometimes you will mislead dot product and cross product. So but anyway, I'll show you how to do it. So this is a Vector3D class, and this is the input should be, the right hand side should be a vector, and the result temp is here, and okay, the answer should be a number, right? Okay, so dot product of this vector and this vector is one number. So we are defining an integer type Vector3D class. So let's make return type in this way. So integer answer maybe. Okay, answer is this multiply times x times x. Y times y. G times g. And return answer. Okay. Dot product. This is plus. Okay, so let's try. So std cout v0 dot v1 dot product testing. Okay, so v0 is 1 2 3 and v1 is 4 5 6. So 1 times 4 plus 2 times 5 plus 3 times 6. So 4 plus 10 14 plus 18. So 32 is correct. Okay, so we implemented vector class, and it's time to implement a matrix class. So let's just repeat the same thing. Add new item, header, matrix 3 by 3 dot h. Okay, class matrix 3x3. Okay, so one of the easiest implementation is defining a 3 by 3 matrix as a set of Vector3D. Actually 3 Vector3D. Okay, so let's include this one, include Vector3D here, but this is gonna make a problem and I'm going to fix it later. So Vector3D, so row 0, so I mean this one, row 0, row 1, row 2, you got it? And one vector has 3 components and it has 3 rows, row 0, row 1, row 2. So this matrix has 9 components, row 1, row 2, right? Okay, and let's go back to the source file. And our objective is implementing a multiplication between matrix and a vector. Multiplication between matrix and a vector. So in this case, we can go back to vector multiplication, copy and paste it, and we want to define multiplication of matrix and vector. So this is matrix 3 by 3 class. So the input is Vector3D. So let's rename it to right hand side, RHS, right hand side of this operator, and the answer should be, well, the return type of multiplying matrix and a vector is a vector. So return type should be a Vector3D. Okay, so return type is answer, and answer dot x is the multiplication between this one and this one. I told you. So this is input vector, this is an input vector, and this is row 0 vector. So row 0 dot RHS. Very simple. And y and return answer. Okay, and we need to implement a constructor for matrix, the easy initialization of matrix variables. So we can repeat the same thing. There are many ways to initialize these variables, but well, most straightforward way is receiving 3 inputs: Vector3D, R0, vector, R1, vector, two. And I'm not pretty sure about this operation, but let me try. It's not working because we didn't implement oh, it's working. Good. R1, 2. Okay, so this seems working. So include Matrix3x3, this one, and okay, let's do V1. Okay, so you may initialize matrix M in this way, right? Because we implemented a constructor that received 3 vectors, and there is one more way, in this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe. So it's your choice. Okay, you can define a temporary vectors and then use it to initialize this matrix, or you can directly define a vector just for this initialization. Okay, and vector y is m dot, what was v0? 1, 2, 3 maybe. Okay. Okay, and we want to check the result. Okay, let's see it. Okay, so y is 14, 32, 32. Is it correct? I don't think so. Something wrong, right? So let's go back to the implementation, and yeah, row 1, row 2. So there was a problem, and I fixed it. Okay, it seems like working, right? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, matrix, vector, multiplication, and I think there was an online calculator. Calculator. Okay, so let's double check our result. So the matrix was 3 by 3. And the second matrix is a vector. So there are 3 rows and 1 column, so same matrices. And our problem was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And visual was 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's press calculate. So the answer is 14, 32, 50. 14, 32, 50. And our result is 14, 32, 50. So it's correct.